I said, take. I said, take. Me out to the ball game. Take. I said, take. Me out with the crowd. Now buy me some peanuts. Buy me some peanuts. Buy me.
And welcome to this week's episode of the Black Guys Like Baseball 2 podcast, keeping you in that safe space for black baseball fans. Brian, what's going on this week with you, my brother?
What is up? What is up? Man, it is beautiful weather, and unfortunately, everybody's on lockdown.
In your own house.
Stay indoors, keep social distancing, and keep yourself entertained.
As you all know, at this point, there is not only no baseball, there's no sports to actually speak of, watch, follow, ascertain, all the words you want to throw in there. So we're just going to, discuss, a few things that have gone on and discuss, what would be opening day today as you listen to this episode and everything that should be or would be going on for opening day. So Brian, how you coping with the loss of opening day?
I am so salty because, as I just said, it is 70 degrees, and tomorrow, well, yeah, it's 70 degrees. So, like, it's great weather. It's partly cloudy, and today would have been opening day. And in our earlier podcast, we were just saying that, with the opening day being so early this year, like, it could mess around and still be snowing in the Midwest for all we know. And now it is 70 degrees, sunny, and we are stuck in the house. This is insane. I'm about to lose it. I can't watch ESPN because all they're talking about is Tom Brady.
Man,
I'm just
you have
losing it.
no idea how irritating that is. Like when they first announced that they were doing like 7 hours of Tom Brady, that I think it was last Sunday. I was
Yeah,
like, they can't be serious. And then I
yeah,
turned on ESPN and they were serious.
they were very serious. Like that. I felt like that saved them a whole week of production. Like, thank God this news dropped, because what else could we possibly talk about?
Yeah, ESPN is hurting as much as the rest of us because at this point I just kind of tune into First Take out of curiosity just to see what
Hmm.
they're going to talk about, and they got nothing. Like they literally got nothing. The other day they were debating who was the most feared boxer, George Foreman or Mike Tyson, and I was like, all right, come on now, like
they
just come on the air and be like, man, we ain't got shit to talk about today.
Yeah, I mean, like, they are literally resulting to barbershop talk at this point, which is cool,
Yeah.
but it's like, you can't keep it funky like you would in a barbershop. So it's like, all right, man, what are we really doing? I mean, they even on our local news, they have even resulted to the sports commentators um, telling people to send in like just highlight tapes of people doing stuff. Like, hey, if you have a Nerf suit, what I'm saying, and you can do some cool Nerf basketball tricks, like, send that in, like, legit, like, we will air it, like, if it's worthy. So I mean, at this point, it's pretty bad. We need sports in a major way right now.
Yeah, man. So again, I'm sure the rest of you are hurting the way that we are without sports, particularly baseball. As I stated before, with today actually scheduled to be opening day in Major League Baseball. Um, so yeah, but we're here. We digress. Hopefully, we'll get some kind of resolution on baseball soon. Um, Only two really newsworthy events, I guess you would say, coming out of Major League Baseball. One, Red Sox pitcher Chris Sale is actually going to go ahead and have the Tommy John surgery that he needs. This actually Corona kind of bailed the Red Sox and Chris Sale out of this situation because it might have been a tough year for the both of them if they tried to run, Chris Sale out there to pitch. And also Noah Syndergaard, the Mets starting pitcher, is going to have Tommy John surgery as well. He actually suffered an injury, and nobody knows how or why exactly. Um, because there's no baseball activities and there's no spring training, and he shouldn't even be touching the baseball at this point.
Right.
But he he actually is going to have Tommy John surgery, and that would end his 2020 season as well. So yeah, any conspiracy theories on how exactly Noah Syndergaard got hurt?
Uh, I don't know, man. That's just weird to me. Like you had a season-ending injury on your
With
day
no
off.
season,
Yeah,
right?
with no season. Like you know what I'm saying? He was shooting dice in the alley or something like with the wrong crowd. Like what happened? I don't know. Like that's pretty weird because I mean I wasn't following the Mets, so I don't know if he had like tendonitis at first, or and then it
Right.
resulted in being something else. I don't remember hearing anything, but yeah, to me this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I don't really follow the Mets that closely either, so I don't know if he had a pre-existing injury that just kind of flared up on him. I mean, I kind of read up on his situation and his story to see what was going on, and there was no mention of any pre-existing injuries at all. So, I mean, I don't want to speculate what happened in that man's household that made him tear something in his forearm or wherever.
Hmm.
But hey, shout out to him. Hope he gets better. All that great stuff.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, we're going to, I guess, monitor that situation, see if any news comes out of that. Um, and just moving forward, pitchers, players, just stay put in your easy chair, I guess.
yeah. Just take it easy. Don't get fat. Run on the treadmill at home and wait for the season to start.
Yeah, man, because getting injured, like you said, on your day off, like getting fired on your day off, just doesn't make a lot of sense. So hope you guys stay safe out there.
And
So
don't go to the DR. Do not go to DR. You know why.
enlighten us, Brian. Why can't we go to?
It doesn't end well for some people. I'll leave it at that. I know nothing.
All right, so we're going to take this opportunity to actually tell you guys a little bit about ourselves and our, I guess, passion, fanhood for baseball, players that we love growing up, players that we like currently that are active, all of that good stuff. Give you a little bit of background into our particular world of baseball. So, with that, Brian, could you just like talk about who, inspired you to get, into the game of baseball and why you got into baseball, being that so few black men are actually interested in the sport, I guess statistically or conceptually or stereotypical or all those type of words.
Right, yeah, all of them, every single one. Nah, yeah, it was just one of those things. My dad took me to a game down at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati back in the day, and it was just one of those things where I was like, "Wow, this is beautiful!" Like just all the fans, the players. I can't remember exactly how old I was, maybe like 7 or so. But it was just one of those things where like you legit fell in love with the game. Like this is pretty cool. I love to play this. So I play like little league t-ball and all that good stuff. Growing up, so some of my favorite players back in the day. I think my very first player was like Ozzie Smith. Like I still don't think that man's name is anywhere where it needs to be. Like
Yeah, I
like
actually agree with that a lot.
Yeah, like the wizard was everything to me, man. Like, so Ozzie Smith was the man back in the day. a hometown hero, Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer. You know, uh, love Barry Larkin. Pete Rose, being a homer here, but these are just like the people who I got a chance to see. Um,
Right.
who else? Who else? I like Kenny Lofton. Kenny
Yeah, Kenny Lofton
Lofton.
was my man too.
That was that dude, man.
Why is he? Sidebar. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he was like a victim of like kind of like the Jordan curse, but in baseball, like playing with King Griffey Jr. in that era,
Right.
like because I don't know. Like that's a very good question. He was a pretty good player. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves as being a great player. Uh, yeah, he had a lot of highlights.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I like Kenny Lofton though. I ain't forgot about you, Kenny. Um, who else? Who else? Oh man, it hasn't been too long since he stopped playing, but his son is not playing. But Vlad Guerrero, I have never
Yeah.
seen somebody so country strong. Like this man never wore batting gloves and can hit the ball a mile. It's like if he got a hold of one, it's a wrap. And he had a cannon for an arm. So yeah, Vlad Guerrero was that dude,
And
man.
he swung at everything and hit it.
Everything.
Like
I mean, he
he had
went
stuff
down.
out of the zone that was like,
Yeah, dropped down to his knees to get a hold of it, and still send that mug out the park.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I remember all the highlights on ESPN. Who was that? Was that Rich Eisen? No, 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 it's Kenny Mayne when he like he got it. You know what I'm saying? I remember all those highlights, man. Like, yeah, Vlad Guerrero is that dude, man. Obviously, Ken Griffey Jr. I said that before. Uh,
Yeah.
who else? Who else? I'm gonna be a homer one more time. Man, Brandon Phillips of the Reds, man.
Very underrated player.
Yeah, that was my dude, man. Like the energy he brought was great. Like he never took a play off. He played hard. Yeah, Brandon Phillips was that dude too. So I'll probably leave it at there. I know I'm leaving a ton of players off, but those are the ones that come to mind right away.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, and it's similar to what you just said. First game I went to was with my pops, like way, way back in the day. We were actually out of town and we went to a Yankees game. And the first game I ever went to was at the old Yankee Stadium, which kind of is the reason I'm a Yankees fan now. I forget how I was probably about 10 years old when we went to that game, and I just remember them winning. So it was like, all right, I went to see the team. They're my favorite team. That's like the depth of my Yankee
Yeah.
fandom. But I mean, that's just how it is with a kid, and it's interesting because I remember watching Luke Cage on Netflix,
Hmm.
and in season one, there was a girl that owned like a memorabilia shop, and like two guys when they were talking, and they were saying that like baseball is a game of fathers and sons, which is like super true
Very
because
true.
so many people you talk to, the first game they ever went to was with their pops or a father figure, somebody like that.
Right.
So that's kind of where baseball started for me, and player wise, I mean, we admire a lot of the same players. I mean, obviously your Ken Griffey Juniors, um, Kenny Lofton's, Barry Bonds was probably my favorite player growing up.
Okay.
Just watching him, even before he got to San Fran, it was just like killing the ball. I was a fan of his back, when he's with the Pirates, and he was
Hmm.
still like a monster. Tony Gwynn was another one of the best hitters like ever, like
Yeah.
straight hitters, like pure hitters. Tony Gwynn was up there. He was never in shape, but he could like hit.
Yeah. He didn't need to.
Like
Yeah.
my man was never in shape. Like don't let, if a ball got over his head. I mean, it was a double, but he made up for it in his
Right.
next at bat. Ricky Henderson is another one
Absolutely.
that was probably the best leadoff hitter in the history of baseball, in my opinion. I mean, power, speed. He really knew how to run the bases. He was
Yes.
probably the most probably one of the most dangerous, batters that Major League Baseball has ever seen. And being that he hit in a leadoff spot, that was huge.
Hmm.
Um, Frank Thomas was another one. He was a monster at the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, he can hit one out at any given time. Like you said, Vlad Guerrero, like did everything your little league coach told you not to do at the plate,
Yeah.
but was still successful. I mean, my man swung on like 0-3 counts.
Right. Like, just take it. Just take the base. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like, nah, I'm gonna take this out the park.
right. Swung out of the strike zone, all types of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I just always, had an affinity, for the game from that first experience and then watching players come up. Even to this day, I don't know if I mentioned on any of the other podcasts, but I still collect like baseball cards and stuff like that. So I still have like a heavy love for the game,
Yeah.
through all of that. And I'm actually learning, and one of the features that we do on the podcast, haven't done in the last few episodes, um, is the Negro League Spotlight. And I'm actually learning a lot about the Negro Leagues now because this year is the 100th year of the beginning of the Negro League. So I just wanted to learn a lot about the Negro Leagues this year. And it kind of sucks that baseball has gotten shut down because of the coronavirus, because they were supposed to do a lot of things to celebrate the Negro Leagues throughout this season. So
Mm.
hopefully, when things get up and running, they'll resume that. But I was actually kind of looking forward to that, just to get those history lessons in.
Right. Right. That would have been dope.
With that, I mean, what we gonna do? What we gonna do, man?
Man, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, nobody gets caught up in anything. No scandals. Uh, hopefully, no more Astro players. Get caught up in anything. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. We need something to talk about, though.
Right. Hopefully, Carl Crawford won't give any rappers shady contracts,
Boy, yeah.
and Jay
Carl.
Prince won't have to get involved, and all of that good stuff. But I will say that, and I don't know if it's Major League Baseball or YouTube, but they've actually been doing a good job of pushing baseball content to the forefront on YouTube. I've noticed over the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it's because people are going on and like searching old baseball stuff to kind of fill that void, but I've been getting like a lot of suggestions for like old All Star games and home run derbies and highlights and stuff like that. So I think that they're trying to do everything they can to keep baseball on the forefront of everybody's mind, even that they're not playing.
Yeah.
So salute to YouTube or MLB, whoever's kind of like spearheading that movement that's going on YouTube.
Yeah, it's needed. Needed. We need something to keep us entertained and get us in a baseball mood. Because I wish we can get a date. Like, hey, this is opening day. Get ready.
Right.
Have something
Or,
to look forward to.
or even if it's like a tentative date, like we might start
Yeah. Yeah.
on this date, that would be cool. But as of right now, if you're a Yankees, I mean a baseball fan, Freudian slip, I say Yankees fan, but if you're a baseball fan, it's a struggle right now because we're getting like nothing.
Yeah. So, what's your speculation on? So, let's say tomorrow, or whatever, they come out and say, "Hey, everything is good." Like, how long do you think? Like, do you think the players are going to go back to spring training, or do you think they're going to be like, "Okay, 1 week of spring training and then the season starts"? Like, just get ready. Like, what do you think will happen?
I think they have to do some kind of spring training, even if it's like a week or two, because they got to get in a groove. Like
Right.
baseball's not the kind of sport you can just roll off the couch and go play and be legit good.
Right.
So I think they would have to do at least 2 weeks of spring training before an opening day,
Yeah.
and because I don't think they they got what 1 week of actual spring training games in before the shutdown, or was it two?
I think it was two. I think it was two because
Okay,
we had some decent content with the the open mic and everything. So yeah, I think it was about like 2 weeks of spring training, and then everything kind of slowed down and got shut down after that. So yeah, I'm in agreement. I was speculating at least 2 weeks of spring training. Just like you said, just get back. get back in the groove. Remember the plays. Pitchers and catchers have to be in sync, and
Right.
and let's be real, everybody gotta get back in shape.
Because they've been chilling.
They've been chilling.
So the pitchers got to, warm their arms back up.
Yeah,
Like you said, they got to get back in sync with the catchers. People got to get, their plate discipline back up to see some pitches. And
right.
I mean, only thing going on right now, you got a bunch of players doing like trick shots on TikTok and dance videos and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah,
they definitely gonna need some kind of baseball activity to get back in the groove of things. Man, I know my man Dusty Baker might be happy right now because he's not having to deal with
yeah,
a whole bunch of like questions and nonsense coming
mm,
off the cheating scandal and all that good stuff.
right, right. I'm still pulling for you, Dusty, man. Like you got a shady deal, but good on you for stepping up and taking it.
Hey man, my brother, I hope your direct deposits are still going through.
Right. Make sure that check clears.
Right. And again, like we said on the last podcast, your man Christian Yelich signed his contract right on time,
Yes, he did.
right before the lockdown. So salute to him.
So maybe he did come out on top.
Oh, he really came out on top. Like he got a raise without going to work. Like
Right.
that's the American dream right there.
Yeah, he got paid on his day off, and Syndergaard is got hurt on his day off. So.
Right. Like I said, today would be opening day, and it's a little bit depressing not to have baseball going on. This I thought the season would be kind of exciting for a whole bunch of different reasons. With some of the big moves that were made, some of the players that are gearing up for big years. Like I wanted to see Yelich get back out there. Wanted to see what Betts was going to do in LA.
Hmm.
I like Ronald Acuna a lot. He kind of emerged over the second half of last year. So I was just kind of excited to see what was going to, happen this season. But, like I said, everything got shut all the way down and we are sportsless, like to the 10th degree.
Yeah,
So I wish I had tips for you guys on how to cope, but I ain't got nothing.
yeah. If you got tips for us, email them to us.
That is a good thing. If anybody out there is listening, send us tips on how to get through this lockout. We do have a Gmail account set up, blackguysbaseball at gmail.com. So if you have ways to actually cope with the lack of baseball this season, definitely, shoot us an email. Let us know how you're scratching that itch of baseball or what you're supplementing in its place. And, we'll get them in on the show and see if they, help us at all. Because right now it's kind of hurting if you're a baseball fan. That is a very abbreviated episode of the Black Guys Like Baseball 2 podcast. Hopefully, not well, we definitely won't have any developments next week because things are still being shut down. But hopefully, we'll get some news out of the world of baseball next week. We'll come up with some conversation to have over the next few days, hopefully, to keep kind of the baseball conversation going because at some point it's just going to die and be nothing to talk about whatsoever unless we get super creative.
We'll
So,
try.
no promises whatsoever.
None.
So please like, share, comment, give feedback. We're up on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. You can always reach out to us via email, blackguysbaseball at gmail.com. If you want to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, you can reach me at Terrence underscore media. And Brian, where can they get to you on social media?
They can find me at DJ Enhance on Twitter and Enhance the Selector on Instagram.
And will you be doing any live DJing on IG Live?
I mean, after D Nice got all those people and they was tipping them for that, say you may find me on IG this Saturday, spinning the classic hits.
Man, I say go for it. Like we had a bunch of local DJs in Baltimore doing it just to get some name circulation going on.
Right, right. I ain't mad at them.
So I say go for it. Even though I think hot take here. I think Questlove's was a little bit better than D Nice, just my personal opinion. But
Yeah, because nobody has a better record collection than Questlove. Nobody.
yo, this dude was spinning like reggae that I've never heard in my life. Like reggae remakes, like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow Brian on Instagram. Maybe he'll do a DJ set for us one night and try to compete with the big dogs out there. Get a little market share on the IG live. But again, thanks for listening. Uh, Condolences to opening day, which was to be today. I hope we all make it through. And I guess we will talk to you guys again next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, peace.
Peace.